Hello everyone, this is Marjabin Baloch from Pakistan and you are watching my YouTube channel Insani Ittihad, which aims to invoke a little bit of humanity in all of us through awareness and understanding of different topics and different issues. So I wanted to share this very amazing insight and understanding which I got personally through learning the Torah and all those concepts, the texts that I came across, religious texts, and in regards to Judaism, and studying them on my own alone. So I have been often recommended by so many Palestinian sympathizers or supporters, or even Palestinians, that study Talmud and study all those concepts which in their opinion are very, very radical and not very, not very nice, and many have quoted such things, even Adam Green and all those rabbis speaking about different concepts and issues and explanations in regards to Talmud, the mystical interpretation. Okay, Talmud is the mystical interpretation of Torah, or other midrashims, or the rabbinical explanations of the concepts in Torah, in terms of Jewish law also, and then the general concept and what it means, what a Torah story is trying to interpret or trying to tell us in regards to our lives. So while studying, because I used to do Chavruta with this some amazing rabbi that I had, so I just felt a difference, a major difference in the account that when I used to study with him and then I used to study on my own, and also I also used to take weekly classes from Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson on Zoom on different interpretations in regards to midrashim, or the different rabbis who have written or interpreted a certain concept, or a Jewish holiday and their mystical and deeper understanding why and how they're celebrated, and what signifies and how this symbolism actually works in the Jewish tradition and Jewish theology. So the major difference that I came across, and it tells me, and some of the people who are a huge and vibrant critics of Judaism say that this segregation of women, men and women, and the disproportionate mitzvot between females and males, it's some sort of a discrimination towards sexes, and there is a sexism in Judaism. So I wanted to explore that, and I wanted to say that, is there a truth to this, and how should are they right? What is the whole truth behind it? So I feel that there is a difference between men and women, psychologically, emotionally, and physically, that is very eminent, and we can see that. But also spiritually, the spiritual connections of men and women are very, very different. The way we make connection with Hashem are very, very different in terms of our own genders. Women are very, since the Torah and the rabbis actually say that we were born complete, and we do not. That's why the circumcision is for men and not for women, because we are complete in a sense that the flow of spirituality or the connection with Hashem is very fluid. it's very, it is very fluid, it is very easy, it is very eminent. The other day I was listening to this short video by Rabbi Jacobson, where he was saying that the marital relationship between a husband and wife is like the Jewish marriage is just like a relationship between fire and water. He is actually right. He's very, very right. So if you hear it for the first time, you will get confused that what does it mean? Fire is if you have to, if you want to get rid of the fire, you just put water on it. So how this relationship is synonymous to Jewish wedding when water actually exterminates fire? And how do then one creates this harmony? But I think the symbolism that rabbis or chazals have given to the Jewish marriage is very, very thought-provoking, and one shouldn't take it like literally, and one should, ponder about it. And then what does it exactly it means? Water and fire. It actually symbolizes our connection with Hashem. So women are very fluid. They have a very flowing relationship with Hashem. Our spirituality is very, very fluid, very subtle. It's not very, of course water has this power to, with tsunami and stuff. So women are usually very subtle and very, calm, and the spiritual connection between Hashem and them is very, very constant, very convenient. And that's why we have mikvah. And that's for women to, have to use regularly, because, it sort of resonates with our spirituality and our connection with Hashem. Men, on the other hand, in my opinion, symbolize fire, because it needs ignition. It needs, fire is burning all the time, but it has the possibility to consume something which is thrown at it, but it also has the ability not to consume but enlighten, like the fire, the bushfire that Moshe saw and spoke to Hashem. So that fire represents the divineness, which does not consume but enlightens, but it also represents a destructive nature in terms of burning everything or consuming everything which comes near it. So it resonates with the kind of relationship men have with Hashem. Like the relationship between Moshe Rabbeinu and Hashem was to enlighten the Jewish people and enlighten the entire world eventually. But the relationship between Pharaoh, there was a relationship between Pharaoh and Hashem also, because it was Hashem who hardened the heart of Pharaoh. So that relationship was also fire-based, but it was consuming Pharaoh. And it was a destructive sort of relationship with Hashem. It was, it was like that fire was actually consuming Pharaoh with his ego and everything. So that was the major difference that I saw, that, and I felt that this is how this works. And another aspect that I came across in regards to my experience of learning alone the Torah, parshots, and learning with my rabbi, I feel that men have the capability to see through religious text and Torah with the nuances. Women, on the other hand, do not have nuances. How can I say this? Well, you see, for women, either they're married or they're not married. Either they are in relationship or they're not in relationship. Either they are menstruating or they're pregnant. Okay, so they're pregnant, they deliver the baby, and then they menstruate, that's also. But it's not like they're also pregnant and menstruating, or they're married and they're also having an extramarital. The feminine energy is either this or that. It's kosher or non-kosher. Because you see how Hashem puts these genders into different mitzvot and different responsibilities in the human social structure and social fabric, is that women need to be in the home because they need to make distinction between kosher, or they need to take care of the kitchen and the pantry, and they have to make sure that this is kosher, this is non-kosher. And to make things black and white, you need to have that sort of understanding. This is the weekend and this is Shabbat. So these sort of distinctions are okay with our the psychological, physiological being as feminine beings we are, that we can only make it. Women necessarily do not understand nuances. Personally, I hate nuances. No, I'm kidding. So I don't understand nuances, and I try to force myself to see there is a bigger thing, and maybe I'm at times there are concepts or perspective or narratives coming out from people like Adam Green or Adam Green is a way too far, but where people like Dr. Zachariah Foster or other, or somebody who are on the very leftist sort of although I do say that their level of faith or level of understanding or connecting with Hashem is far more superior and far more stronger, because I feel as religious people are more into making sure everything is in order and more ritualistic. But I think left, or the people who are a-religious but do have this very strong humanity and very strong empathy and that service mentality, that equality syndrome that they have, I think that takes a lot of spiritual understanding, which is above all those ritualistic and religious understanding. But I never understand. I don't think I have the ability to understand nuances, and even if I understand the nuances, as a female, it will be very difficult for me to actually accept those nuances, because it doesn't go with my system. Women are either this or that. There is no in between. For men, nuances are important. They are nuances. It's such a wonderful, beautiful understanding that I got. That, like Hashem is hidden in this world. Every day one sees and observes little sparks of miracles and this hidden light in which Hashem is shown to us, whether it is giving birth to a new child, or somebody surviving against oddest of their situations, or somebody creating at times I think Elon Musk is such a miracle of Hashem. Such a miracle of Hashem to be able to do what he does, and the technologies and everything. If you see close enough, you would see this miraculous divinity in all these wonderful, amazing scientific discoveries and those things, and you just, it's just so gavildic, so divinely intoxicating. And I think I totally forgot what I was saying. So anyway, so men are more into nuances, and they have this ability to bring about the hidden into the mainstream, the hidden divinity into the mainstream. They have the ability to transform the hidden sparks, tiny little sparks of divinity in this world, in this cosmos, and make it into a very practical, real, divine existence. And just like Mashiach, who is a more masculine, he is the king of, the last king of Israelites, the last leader of Israelites, or in Talmud and other mystical interpretations, people say Mashiach is not just a person, but it is an entire era of understanding Hashem very visibly, very practically, it's very eminent to everyone, Jews and Gentiles alike. So men have, the masculine energy has the ability to transform hidden into, and bring the hidden into their forefront, and transform these sparks into the real thing. And that's why the blueprint of life, which most of the rabbis say, like Rabbi Menace Friedman and Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson, often refer to Torah as a blueprint of life. But it has a lot of nuances. It has a lot of different deep concepts. So there are statements which seem to be very, black and white and very harsh. But to bring about nuances from these harsh statements, these confusing one-liner statements, and bring about the real insight, Hashem wanted men to do that. That's why the Torah was given to men and not to women. But Hashem asked the Israelite women first that I will be giving this Torah to them, and they would be spending a lot of time bringing out nuances out of this blueprint of life, and create a lot of insight from simple statements or simple verses. And they would, and this actually enriches and strengthens their the spirituality and the connection of Hashem and the masculine energy when they indulge in this study and bring about these nuances from Torah. And in fact, Talmud is all about nuances, spiritual nuances about Torah, about Hashem, about Israel, about this whole relationship. The Midrashims, the Gemara, the understanding the numbers and all these quantitative things as not just random or not just fixated things. In Hinduism, everything the number system is very fixated, and it has a idolatry in itself. The numbers are also an idol. But in Gemara, on the other hand, there is a spiritual significance of counting and numbers and this and that, and these nuances are brought about by men, these rabbis. And then you understand that's the reason that Torah study and going to shul and prayers is given to men, because they would have nuances and they would indulge in the need of finding nuances in Torah, and then enlighten the world with their inner fire, the fire which symbolizes them. If they do not indulge in Torah nuances, bringing about the spirituality through the Torah nuances, they would be having those nuances negatively on other means. For example, a man who doesn't indulge in, say, going to shul or saying prayer, but don't do it. Also some people make rituals as an idol also. It shouldn't be like that every man have to have prayer 3 times a day and have to go to shul. Don't be stiff-necked, or don't make it a big of a deal that it hurts your spine. Just be easy with it. One day, say 1 prayer, the other day 2 prayers. It's like, make it like, exile and return sort of a thing. You do it one day and then you don't do it the other day. But, have this spirituality driving you through your life, through your career, through your relationship, through everything. And it's very difficult, of course. One cannot be ever consistent. But at least go into that direction and keep going into that direction, slowly, gradually, and whatever. So if the masculine energy do not work on Torah and do not find nuances in that thing, then I think they would find nuances in their intimate lives. How so? You see, usually, by and large, now I'm not making this gender signation that only men do this nowadays, when women are competing with masculinity and they are saying if the men can do it, we also have the right to do this. But by and large, if we see historically and journally, it's men who usually have a wife at home, and then they are actually having lucid, intimate relationship with their secretary, and then meanwhile they're watching porn, and then they go to prostitutes, and then they have a friend that they occasionally fuck with. So they have nuance, and then you ask them, you have a wife, why do you have to sleep with or have sex with so many other women? And they will give you this nuanced sort of explanation that, okay, this woman is very hot, so she I went into that zone or whatever. They would give you that explanation, whatever they are feeling, or however, whatever kind of situation they're going through. But then if they do not focus their inherent ability to find out nuances in Torah, they would find out nuances in the second best thing, or second best eminent drive that they have in them, which is connecting with women. Either they would connect with Hashem through nuances and make this world a better place, or they would feel lonely and alone, and they would try to make connection with us female through all these illicit relationships and through nuances. So I realized that this is something which is very profound. And I think with the rise of feminist movement, I'm not against feminist women. I think I am more feminist than the feminist. No, that would be a wrong statement also. But feminism is a very good, it's wonderful. I mean, the whole, the concept of feminism in protecting the feminine identity and the feminine to secure we as women need to feel secure in our own skin, in our feminine energy, and if we are protected through this feminist movement in terms of preserving our right to have respect, recognition, ability to, have equal opportunities in terms of expression, artistic or intellectual expression. For example, if I'm making this video and people learn from it, I think that's a very, that's very much acknowledging my ability to understand Torah wisdom a little bit to a certain extent, just like a Jewish man would understand and would share his perspective in regards to, okay, this is what I've read and this is what I feel it's like. So yeah, in that context, I think many of the Rebbetzins have contributed to the community, the Jewish community, helping out other women. I am against contributing towards Judaism in terms of writing and through literature, and there is a reason, because I feel that this responsibility was given to men, that they read the Torah, they extract all the nuances, and then they write and they add into that literature of Torah, because that's their. I mean, it's like if I light the Shabbat candle, that's for me. That's specifically for me. I would not like if my husband would light a candle. Okay, if he wants to, he can, but this is me. This is my thing. Giving birth is my right. I don't want to, because it's for us. It's and there is a thought process to it which goes out. It's not like Hashem doesn't like women, so he would give these mitzvahs to them, and if he likes men so a little more, so he would give these sort of mitzvahs to them. I think it enhances our feminine or masculine energies and enriches us into our own skin, in who we are. So if the feminist movement actually enriches the feminism and the feminine energy, I think it's a good thing. But if it's just a competition if men have nuances, we should also have nuances, that's not what we are here for. In fact, I think this Jewish marriage is that it's a perfect combination. So women are like either this or that, and men are nuances. So in a way that, a wife can help her husband understand when he gets really, really confused in nuances of things, of religious concepts, that she is there to say, no, you are getting way too, confused in this. This means actually this, and this means actually this. So end of discussion. Stop wasting your energy, your intellectual energy to this concept for so long. And I think many of the Rebbetzins of great rabbis have contributed to the understanding of the rabbis, and then their literature, their work has I think incorporated those understanding and those distinctions those Rebbetzin made for them. And then at times women are like very either this and that, so their husband can help them understand the little nuances in things, and okay, this is like this is like that, the deeper meaning of that. Just like I used to have these amazing insights, nuanced insights from my previous rabbi. It was just, and I can't. Literally, I was the other day, not only me but my sister was also missing. My previous Rabbi Zachariah Connor, if you're watching this, me and my sister, we really, really miss you. And honestly, I really, really desperately miss the nuances, the deeper meanings that my rabbi would come across, and it would just so powerful, so enlightening. And I actually really, really miss it. And unfortunately, Rabbi Jacobson, his classes that I used to have on Zoom every week on Monday and Thursday, he actually also cancelled those Zoom online classes. So he would be starting the in-person, Hasidic classes on weekly parshots for men in person. But it will be live on yeshiva.com. So anyone who is interested, amazing rabbi. He is an amazing. In fact, I think Zachariah Corner and Y.Y. Jacobson have a lot in common. I used to say to Zachariah Corner also that, you and this Rabbi Y. Jacobson have a lot in common, the whole thing. The way they speak, the way they interpret things. So I would miss both my rabbis. It's such a heartbreak that both are gone. Not gone as in, no. May they have long, healthy, amazing, successful, wonderful lives, and they enjoy their lives and stuff. And then I feel, happy that, my rabbi is going to have, who knows, soon a girlfriend or a fiance, and then get married, have many children. It will make me jealous, but nevertheless, he's happy. Everyone should. I think one should be happy for everyone. Yeah. And marriages, Jewish marriages, are such happy, events. It's just so pathetic to be not happy about somebody finding their shidduch. So wishing everyone a wonderful day, night, whatever the thing is. And I wish that you just look into this amazing concept of, how women have this spiritual connection with Hashem, and how men have this spiritual connection with Hashem, and how this, fire and water relationship of fire and water combination actually adds up to the understanding of the divine, understanding of Hashem, and how Torah, which has the hidden divine wisdom, and this world has Hashem hidden in itself, and how rabbis and the Jewish men are actually blessed to, through their nuances, bring about this wisdom from Torah, and bring about this divinity from this world, and make it a big fire of enlightenment and spirituality. So have a wonderful day, and enjoy being a female or a male, whatever you are amazing. So yeah, try to connect with Hashem and be happy. Thank you very much for watching. I know, as always, a long video, but you will like it, I'm sure. Thank you.